Just to give introduction, myself Rambabu. I have almost 7+ years of IT experience as a database administrator. So initially for the first 1 year, I worked as a Teradata developer. Later, I have migrated to PostgreSQL. In addition to PostgreSQL, almost 6 database technologies: Greenplum, Cassandra, MongoDB, MariaDB, Teradata. I have worked on that area. Okay, so up to now, my training career started almost 2016. So this is almost 4th year on PostgreSQL. Up to now, almost 300 plus students I have provided training. 95% of the people working candidates only, Oracle and either Oracle or MS SQL. 95% of the people. Okay, most of the people like 5 years, 6 years candidates only. Okay, so this is completely purely real-time scenarios. You no need to worry anything. What are the things I'm explaining here? Simply, you can use this document as SOP for your environment. Wherever you go, for that environment, simply you can treat these notes as a SOP for that one. See, normally if you have any CR for your project, so definitely you will prepare an implementation plan kind of thing, right? That is the way for each and every topic. I'll provide you the steps. I'll show you practically. At the same time, I'll take you the output from Linux server. That commands completely I'll copy and paste it in a notepad and I'll share with you. At the same time, in addition to notes, I'll share each session recording after the class. Okay, so that's about myself. So as part of this training, I'm going to cover below things. Let me show you PostgreSQL course catalog. Okay, see here. This is the course catalog actually. Okay, so first thing, see, every time, most of the times while explaining, I'll tell you one thing. This question will be covered in certification. Something like that I'll tell you. Okay, so if I'm saying anything, it is related to certification means definitely that will be useful for either interview or certification. Definitely. If I'm saying it is related to certificate means please note it down. Okay, and one more thing. So in market almost we have 30 plus data warehouse technologies: Oracle, Greenplum, Cassandra, MongoDB, Couchbase, this CockroachDB. Almost 30 plus data warehouse technologies are there. Out of that, see, even though we have 32 plus data warehouse technologies, still why we have to choose PostgreSQL database? So what is the history of PostgreSQL? And one more thing, once introduction. Sorry.
నేను నాది మొత్తం ఇంటర్నెట్ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయ్యింది.
Okay.
Actually, laptop restart చేయాల్సి వచ్చింది. So I lost.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, just now introduction started. That's it. So later, basic thing is architecture. Coming to PostgreSQL architecture,
Okay.
same as Oracle only. We have 3 layers: general architecture, memory-based architecture, process-based architecture. Not only PostgreSQL, we have same architecture for Oracle, same architecture for MS SQL. Everything will be divided, right? General architecture is different, memory-based architecture is different, process-based architecture is different. So later, what are the major features in PostgreSQL? What are the data types in PostgreSQL? So after that, I cover just Linux basics. What are the things regularly we will use in PostgreSQL if you are working on Linux environment? Okay, basic commands: how to check the disk space utilization, how to check the mount points details, how to check the mount points owners, how to create the users in OS level, how to create the group, how to assign group to user, how we will make user as a super user. At the same time, how we will change the ownership of separate folder. These kind of things we will cover. At the same time, see, after the Linux basics, we will go to installation part. Coming to installation, most of the softwares, right? Oracle also we have this one actually, normal binaries as well, RPM files as well we have, right? 2 types of installations we have in Oracle. But in PostgreSQL, we have 3 types of installation. One is source code installation, another one is RPM files. RPM files only we will call it as a binaries installation. That binaries installation only we will call it as a yum repository installation. I'll show you that one detailedly. At the same time, run file installation. Complete software will be one run file. See, in Windows we will have a .exe file, right? In the same manner, PostgreSQL also we have a .run file. That one shot, one click installation. We will call that as a one click installation. So I'll show you these three types of software installation. Once this installation done, what I will do, I'll give you the VMware player. I'll give you the Red Hat Linux version 7.2 or 8, both I'll give you. I'll show you how to install it, how to configure it. Same I'll mention in the notepad as well. Blindly you can follow the notepad. And one more thing, anyway I'll give you video, right? While setting up the lab, if you get any issues, just follow through video. Still, if you are getting any doubt, do one thing. Simply WhatsApp in our group. I'll create WhatsApp group for all you people, okay? Later, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll create a WhatsApp group for this month. Actually May 31st, right? So for this month batch, I'll create one group. You can simply ping there. So later, once installation part done, PostgreSQL installation is different. Database initialization is different. As part of database initialization, see, if you have done installation, just you will get the binaries. That means utilities only. Like see in Oracle, once you done the installation, in the DB home bin location, you will have a DBCA, DBUA, all the NetCA, all the utilities will be there, right? In the same manner, we will get only utilities. But our main intention is services should come up. Then to come up the services, definitely it needed default configuration files, default data files. So first thing is, once installation done, we have to generate the default data files and configuration files. Okay. So for that concept, we will call it as a cluster initialization. Normally, you people will think cluster means group of nodes, right? Group of nodes or group of servers. But in PostgreSQL, cluster means that data directory, we will call it as a cluster. Okay. So later, once default data files created, data directory explanation, very important thing in PostgreSQL, data files. Data files will be stored in data directory. Under data directory, number of subdirectories will be there. That subdirectories, each and every directory, what is the purpose, I will explain. Later, once data directory ready, then you will go to managing the services. Stopping services, starting services, restarting, reload, these kind of things. That is, we will cover in a starting and stopping services. Later, if you install the binaries, if you install the software, if you install RPM software, okay, it will get automatically auto restart. Let's suppose your server rebooted. Database services will go down. One server come up, services should come up automatically. For that one, we have to configure automatic startup. Okay, automatic startup while the VMware shutdown. This one we will see. So later we will see the common issues during common issues and troubleshooting. Once you are trying to install the software, you may face some issues. We will solve that one. Okay, that one anyway, installation lab setup we will cover. Later, very important thing is authentication method, security mechanism. How PostgreSQL is an open source, right? But how it is achieving security, that one is the main part. So that security part, later disk space, how to recover the disk space, how to update the statistics. So transaction IDs explanation. Later, routine DBA tasks and best practices. Audit log management. By default, audit log will not come. Oracle, alert log and trace files will come by default, right? But in PostgreSQL default, it will not come. And one more thing, query analysis, monitoring the statistics, database logs, operating system monitoring, okay, PostgreSQL statistics monitoring. Later, hardware configuration. What are the prerequisites for installing the PostgreSQL? So main concept is table spaces, right? Table spaces, transaction logs. Transaction logs is the main concept. How the PostgreSQL software handling your transactions to achieve the point in time recovery, to achieve the recovery. So how it is achieving with your transaction logs. Later, partitioning concept. Partitioning is very important concept. Only data import and export. Later, PostgreSQL tools like PG Badger, PG Pool, PG Admin, PG Bench. These are the PostgreSQL tools. Later, we will cover backup and restore strategies. Coming to backup and restore strategies, we have a number of things. PG dump utility, PG dump all, PG restore, PSQL restore utility, Almost 4 utilities are there for the logical backup. Later part we will go to physical backup and restore. So PG base backup, PG receive xlog. Okay, these are the utilities we have. Later we will go with a PostgreSQL maintenance activities. Any database maintenance activities is very important, right? So we have some maintenance activities: vacuum, analyze, vacuum full, vacuum freeze, reindex. These maintenance activities detailed we will explain and we will show you practically. Okay, later we will go with a database upgrade. In the database upgrade, actually contrib module installation to achieve additional utilities. Okay, PostgreSQL normally given a software. In addition to software, we may get another 3 or 4 additional utilities. For that one, we have to configure the contrib module. Later, different database upgrade methods: major upgrade, minor upgrade. Once upgrade completed, how to roll back it. Okay, roll back. Later, replication. This is very important thing. So almost we have 4 types of replications. Actually, cascading replication is there, logical replication is there, and synchronous replication and asynchronous replication is there. Later, once replication setup done, how to, if master server went down, how to promote slave server as a master server. Later, after some time, if master comes up again, old master, then how to do the failback. Old master is master, old slave is slave. How to do the failback. Okay, how to achieve the high availability. And one more thing, simply see here. Let's suppose server A is there, server B is there. Server A is the master, server B is the slave. Okay, let's suppose server A master, it's went down. Now server B became the master, slave became the master. After 1 hour, server A come up. Okay, now server A asking its position. Earlier I am the master, now I want to behave as a master. So simply you cannot convert A as a master, B as a slave. So definitely you will face some conflicts. Okay, that concept also we will see. And one more thing, yeah, so replication overview we'll see. And one more thing for the initial setup. See, in Oracle, I think you people are aware. Emmanuel and Ram, you are aware, right? See, while building the data guard definitely initially standby, you will run the backup, right? Once you took the backup, then only you will start the service for the initial sync. So in the manner only, instead of running full backup, simply you can update the modified blocks to slave server. For that reason, we are using a pgrevent utility. This is very nice utility actually. See, let's suppose, see here, for example, I'll tell you 1 TB data you have. Okay, 1 TB data you have in master node. Let's suppose slave standby also, definitely 1 TB data will be there, right? Will be there standby also. Let's suppose transaction logs removed from master node before reaching to the standby node. So definitely replication will be broken, right? So in that case, what you have to do, again you have to run the base backup. That means all the 1 TB data you have to copy. So almost it will take 6 hours to copy 1 TB data. So to avoid this issue, within 2 minutes or 3 minutes, we can bring up the standby into sync mode. Okay, so for that we have a utility called pgrevent utility to make the server sync very faster. So that one pgrevent we will see practically. Later, inheritance concept. Earlier up to 9.6 there is no concept of direct partitioning in PostgreSQL. Later 10 onwards they have given self partitioning keyword directly they introduced. But up to 9.6 they have achieved partitioning with inheritance concept. So that one also a very beautiful concept, inheritance and partitioning concept. So up to 9.6 how they have achieved partitioning. From 10 onwards how they have achieved partitioning, self partitioning, that one. So trigger based partitioning is earlier one only up to 9.6. So that one also we will cover. Later performance tuning part. So operating system level performance tuning, query level performance tuning, database level performance tuning, user level performance tuning, object level performance tuning. Okay, so all the ways we are covering actually. We are not giving any space. Okay, so all the ways we are covering here. First thing, first perspective, if you are seeing any issues, definitely first blindly should not go with the DB level. First check in a OS level. If any user up to yesterday they are seeing very good performance, but suddenly today they are facing some issue, means first check in operating system. So OS level, if any possibility is there for tuning, you can try that. Later you just go with database level. Later you go with the user level. Later you go with the object level. End of the day, you just go with the query level. Query level means definitely query level tuning means you have to give some suggestions to application team to do modifications, right? So that is the way you can follow the performance tuning way. So step by step we will see that one, which scenario, how to provide the solution. These kind of things we will see in performance tuning later. Oracle to PostgreSQL migration. What are the ways of migration? What are the types of migration? What are the tools using for migration? In our area, we are covering open source PostgreSQL, right? So definitely I have a tool, Vara2PG. With the Vara2PG, I'll configure, I'll run the demo, I'll share you the software as well. I'll show you both. I'll install the Oracle in my system. I'll install the PostgreSQL in my system. So I'll create some objects in Oracle. Then I'll show you how to migrate from Oracle to PostgreSQL. I'll show you demo as well. Okay. And one more thing, for all you people, I'll share you the sample resume. Okay. Sample resume I'll share you. According to that, you can update your profile. So, and one more thing, during the session, definitely I'll tell something. This question is related to certification. Okay. That type of assistance will be there. And one more thing, at the end of the day, if you are feeling like you are unable to attend the exam, so remaining ways we will see later how to complete the exam. So that one we will see later actually. Okay, that things we will discuss in offline, that remaining things, how to cross the certification. And one more thing, in addition to this, now this session onwards, actually for this batch onwards, I am planning to give one more flexibility for you people, one more concept, replication slots. Replication slots, that concept I am telling from this batch onwards. Okay, so most of the people are asking that one, replication slots. So this batch onwards, I am introducing that replication slots concept as well. So I'll show you what is the advantage of replication slots, how to create the replication slots, how the replication slots will play key role in the replication setup. Okay, so that parts we will see practically. So, and one more thing, we are going in this batch, I am going to give one more thing, see, partition tables backup concept. For that one also I can able to provide the solution for this session onwards. Previous classes I have not explained the two concepts. One is taking the partition tables backup, second one is this one, replication slot, and one more thing, third one, user level auditing enabling. That concept also I'm going to cover this batch onwards. Okay, these are the three things. And one more thing, I'm trying to give this one, encryption, data encryption concept as well. Most of the companies nowadays, they're asking data encryption. Production to UAT, they are bringing the data, so for restore, production to UAT restore, but nowadays they are not allowing, most of the companies not allowing. Simply if you are bringing production data to UAT means they are not accepting. So before bringing into the UAT server, you have to mask the data. That means you have to encrypt the data. So then once encryption done, you have to export the data, you have to import into UAT. So that means very critical columns will not be visible to all the users. That thing will be introduced in data masking concepts. So, and one more thing, I'm trying to cover foreign data wrapper, FDW. I'm sure definitely no one can able to cover these concepts. Right now I told you 4 concepts, right? That four concepts, wherever you go, no one will cover. So foreign data wrapper, that one also I'm going to cover practically this batch onwards. Okay, so every batch actually some medicinal points will be there. So this batch onwards I'm going to cover that one as well. And one more thing, up to this session, logical replication, especially logical replication, for the last sessions, if you see, I have covered almost like just 40% of the concept I have covered up to last batch. This batch onwards I am planning to increase the percentage of for that one. Okay, so logical replication. So previous session, yeah, so previous session almost just 50% I have covered. This batch onwards I'm trying to cover something additional for this one. Okay, actually PostgreSQL, we have a concept. You can replicate whole server to another server, standby server. Another concept is you can replicate 2 or 3 tables only, set of tables. Set of tables you can replicate to another server. That concept we will call it as a logical replication. So this for our batch, I'm going to cover some additional things. These are the 5 or 6 concepts I'm going to cover. I'm sure no one will show you Vara to PG, Oracle to PostgreSQL migration in any institute. Okay, so these are the things from my side. This is our catalog. Even some concepts I have not updated in catalog, but still I'll cover those concepts. Okay, I'll cover those concepts. And one more thing, queries which are useful for our regular usage. If you join in any company, what are the queries will be useful for regular usage? That one I'll share you. Okay, all the queries will be useful for monitoring perspective. So all the queries and monitoring perspective, what are the things useful? Each and every query I'll share you. Okay, that notepad is separate. I'll share you that one as well. So these are the things from my side. If you people have any doubts or concerns, anything I'm missing, so tell me. Later we will proceed with the introduction. Yeah.
Can you please send the contents?
Course catalog. I'll share you. I thought I share you, right, Raghava?
Nail cheyaledanడి మీరు.
Okay. I'll share you today. No problem. Yeah. Emmanuel, Ram, any concerns? Anything missing? Anything need to add for this catalog?
Ram, can you just go through the starting of this content? I missed some part. If you don't mind, just
no, just catalog only. I explain nothing. Catalog. What are the concepts we are going to cover? That concepts I shown you in this. Just catalog I shown you. Nothing I have explained. So what are the things we are going to cover as part of training? So this is our course catalog. I'll share this catalog with all you people. Today once this one introduction done, I'll share you this one. So if you think something we are missing, so you text me. I'll tell you whether we are going to add this concept, whether it is possible to add it or not. I'll tell you. Okay.
So the clustering concept in Postgres, do you need to create a cluster at the OS level and then you build the cluster, the Postgres cluster on top of it, or it is inbuilt Postgres cluster that is...
No. For open source, all third-party tools only there. For open source, third-party tools only. But Enterprise DB, they have given their own software actually, Enterprise Failover Manager. So first we will build the cluster. On top of that one, auto failover software, we will install that one. I will show you practically. So first thing, like a data guard, we will set up the replication, streaming replication between the two nodes, two different servers. We will build the replication. So what are the transactions you are doing in one server? That will be copied to another server automatically. Within fraction of seconds, less than a second, it will be copied to standby server. Okay. Later, to achieve the auto failover concept, on top of that, we can install number of softwares, any software your wish, either rep manager or else open source. You can go with the rep manager, or else some third-party tools are there. Auto failover extension is there, and this one Windows level one is there, auto failover software. And one more thing, that are cluster level also you can use. If you go with the EDB, you can go with the EFM. I'll show you EFM, Enterprise Failover Manager. I'll build the replication. On top of that, I'll install the auto failover software. Then I'll show you how the cluster is up and running. If I kill the master server, automatically how the slave is promoting as a master. That one we will see practically.
So what I meant is, in say for example, if you take SQL Server in Windows, so SQL Server clustering is built on top of Windows cluster, correct? So first you have to build Windows cluster, then you build the SQL.
What you are, no. Here no need to build any OS level cluster.
Oh, okay. That's what I wanted. Okay.
I know. Clusterware concept I'm aware. That one is different. Clusterware means that one different, right? Yeah. So here actually we have to use some third-party softwares.
Okay.
Ram, మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? డౌట్స్ కానీ ఏమైనా మిస్ అయినట్టు అనిపిస్తుందా? Any concept?
Uh,
Hmm.
yes, Rambabu. So actually, I'm having one more concern. Are we going to replicate the if you take Oracle, we have a Golden Gate replication.
Hmm.
So if you take two databases,
Hmm.
one database is having the customer data, but in another database we will just copy the whichever they require for reporting purpose.
That's
In the
what, right?
similar manner,
That's
yeah,
what, right? I told logical replication.
yeah,
Logical replication, actually that is not a whole server replication. Just whatever the tables you want, or else whatever the schema you want, or else whatever the database you want to replicate, that only you can replicate. That one logical replication. Limited. Specific objects you can replicate. See here, there is no concept of master and slave. Both are standalones. Okay. Server A is standalone, server B is standalone. But especially from server A, one database I have 10 tables. That 10 tables I need in server B, in the database, another database called different with a different name. Okay. So that's what you are asking, right? See here. Let me explain you. Server A is there. Okay. Server A is there. Under server A, ROM database is there. Under ROM database, under tables are there. Under tables are there. But as per my requirement, I need to replicate only 10 tables. Okay, 10 tables to where? Server B. Okay, server B, SAM database. Okay, this one. Your expectation, this one, right? Always the 10 table should replicate to this server B. Am I correct? Huh?
yeah,
Yeah,
correct,
this
correct.
one we will achieve with logical replication. That's what I just told you, right? That logical replication from this session onwards, this batch onwards, I'm going to extend some more thing additionally. Earlier, I used to cover list of tables, whole database, like that only I covered. This time onwards, whole schema, how to replicate, that one we will see. Some additional things I'm adding this batch onwards for that one.
Okay, okay. And one more thing,
Hmm.
if it comes to clustering part, as you mentioned,
Hmm.
it is only on the standalone server. If I want to go with high availability,
Hmm.
what is the scenario in here?
Here
Are
actually,
we
yes, I got your point. First thing, like a rack concept, we don't have in PostgreSQL. Like a rack concept. Rack concept main intention is, in addition to high availability, to reduce the CPU usage, right? So there is shared storage is there, right? In Oracle, shared storage is there. Two nodes will split the workload. So that is the main intention. Not only high availability, rack functionality. So here actually there is no concept of write master. Okay, master concept not there in PostgreSQL. There is no master
okay?
not there. Okay, first thing.
Okay.
Second thing, we have master slave concept. At the same time, both are active. Okay, so but master will allows read plus write. At the same time, slave will allows writes only. Yeah, sorry, reads only. So coming to auto failover, here we are following approach like this one. Application team will never access with a physical IPs of master server or slave server. They will access with VIP. Okay?
Listener.
They will access with VIP. Always VIP will point to master. VIP will point to master. Okay, point to master server. That part agent will take care. That part EFM agent will take care. Means always it will check which is the master. Every second it will keep on monitor. That agent responsibility is that one. So always it will be assigned to master only. But suppose master went down, automatically slave will be promoted as a master. VIP will be moved from master to new master. So application team will not aware of this connection loss. Within 10 seconds, that VIP failure from master to slave will be happen. So they will not aware. But if they are they do not have a reconnect facility, connection retry functionality will be there, right? Application side. So if they hit the database, they are not getting the connection. Again, that connection should retry, right? So that functionality, most of the applications they built from their side now, very rare. Some application teams still they are not build that one. They have to restart the application. So if failure happens, so even rack also, if they do not have retry functionality from application server, definitely they will lose the connectivity. Until they restart their application services, they cannot able to get the connection, right? So same manner here also, same concept. So end of the day,
Okay.
application team will use virtual IP. We will see this practically. I'll show you
Okay.
how the connection will point to primary database with virtual IP. I'll show you.
Okay, that is fine. If suppose, see, I'm having, see, my server capacity is like 100 GB and database size is almost 20 TB. Okay. The users are increasing day by day. So during that situation, we have to go for the resource increase, right? For the
Correct.
specifically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
That is only concept we have to follow for the Postgres, or
Same.
can we add any of the
No,
servers to the
here I'll
cluster?
tell you one thing. PostgreSQL completely based on VMware, virtual players, not like a physical device. See, Oracle, most of the cases, Oracle physical servers, right? Not a VMs. Very rare Oracle with VMwares. So they are completely physical servers. Simply provisioning not possible. But PostgreSQL completely VM based. So if you want to add disk space, increase disk space, no problem. Simply you can increase. The only thing is, if you are going to increase CPUs, number of CPUs, memory, there only problem. You have to go with a restart, or else no downtime required. So this one, see, answer for your question is same as other databases only. If you want to increase the resources, you can increase like this one. You can increase the disk space. You can increase the CPUs. Okay, this one vertical only, no horizontal. Horizontal means you can add a new thing. That is not possible here. Disk layer, it's possible. If you want to increase the disk, you can add a new disk. That one possible. That one horizontally possible. But resources is there, right? Only vertically possible. Increasing the CPUs like that. See, you cannot add one more node. Like rack. Rack is there. If rack is there, node cluster is there. You can add one more node, right? To decrease the CPU overhead. So, but here not like that. If one node is there, that one node only option is you can increase 8 core CPU, 16 core CPU, 32 core CPU, like that you can vertically increase it. But see here, Oracle you have a flexibility. If 2 rack node is there, reduce the overhead, add one more node, flexibility is there, right? In Oracle rack, this is horizontal. PostgreSQL horizontal scaling is not possible with respect to CPUs or memory. Clear, right?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah, that is it.
And one more thing, there could be lot of challenges when we do the migrations, right? There is a lot of data types will not support
No.
from Oracle
Yeah.
to
No. Nowadays,
Postgres.
what they have done, 95%, 95 to 98%, they are covered actually. They provided alternative in PostgreSQL. Default 12, almost in 12, if you do migration, except blobs, LOB objects is there, right? If you are going to migrate LOB objects, then only you will see the small little bit issue. Actually, in Oracle LOB, each LOB one segment, right? In Oracle. So if LOBs are there, number of segments will be there in Oracle. But those all LOBs under same table only, right? You got my point, right, Ram? See, one table contains number of LOBs in Oracle. So each LOB or else number of LOBs may occupy number of segments in Oracle. While migrating to PostgreSQL, each LOB creating as a one table in PostgreSQL. That is the problem we are facing now up to now. So for that one also they have released the solution. So last yesterday completed migration session. For them I explained that clearly. So only this case only we are facing issue. This is the alternative for this data type. For blob they have introduced a data type called byte A. Byte A data type they have introduced in PostgreSQL. Main thing is, while developing PostgreSQL code itself, they are literally focusing on Oracle. Wherever the chances are there, they are not leaving the chances. PostgreSQL people simply they are pointing to Oracle. Almost see, if you see EDB, completely even dual keyword also they introduced in EDB advanced server. But open source still the dual keyword not introduced. But rest all of the data types they have introduced. So very rare you may face issue. Now 12 onwards there is no concept. Simply you can migrate procedures, functions, so everything you can migrate. LOBs you can deal later separately. Take the dump, restore, like that you can do. Instead of simply doing, you can take the normal dump. First create the structure, then later migrate the dump. Export only data from Oracle, that one restore it into PostgreSQL. I will tell you in migration concept.
So Ram, what do you mean by EDB, advanced EDB and open source? So
We will see in introduction.
Okay.
I'll explain detailedly in introduction. Okay. So that is, and one more thing, see, don't hesitate to ask any questions. See, don't think like if I ask this question, someone will feel this is a silly question. How this guy asking? Don't feel like that. Okay. Even though if it is a silly question also, definitely some background will be there. Okay. Don't hesitate to ask any question. Simply you can ask. If someone is feeling this is a silly question means let them feel, no problem. Okay. You need, if you have that doubt means still you will continue with that class like that only. So if you have even silly question also, simply ask me. I'll try to give the answer. If I'm not aware, I'll raise case with software team. So I'll get the solution. Maybe it will take 1 or 2 days. Definitely, I'll come up with a solution. Okay. Even though if I'm not aware, definitely I'll come up with a solution. I'll give you guarantee on that. No problem. Okay. Yeah. Any questions, Purushottam?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Actually, are you covering data encryption, data masking, all those concepts?
Yes, that's what I told you, right? This batch onwards, I'm planning to cover data masking concept.
Data masking, we can mask entire database, otherwise some of the columns.
Objects, columns especially. See, main thing masking concept, main intention is while migrating data from, see, if you're planning to restore data from prod to UAT staging, so out of the table, if table contains 100 columns, not 100 columns are critical. See.
Yeah, I know that one. The concept is no, I know.
Column based we will do.
You are covering all the security concepts, otherwise.
Yes, actually we have 2 or 3 layers, security layers. We will see that one. Okay. Main thing is host-based authentication. We will see that one. And one more thing, I'll do one thing. This time I'll introduce SSL certificates as well. That concept as well. How to create the SSL certificates to achieve the security. Okay. So this batch onwards I'll include.
That one is we need to purchase that SSL.
No need. Open source SSL certificates you can create. You can generate. That flexibility is there. That is OS related certificates, right? You can generate the certificates as well. You can create your own certificates. Recently, one guy asked that one. I shared that notes to that guy.
So certification, like Oracle certification we have, right? OCA, OCP, like that. In Postgres also, do we have?
Yes, we have.
So which one? How to register that one?
I'll tell you.
Is there any site?
I'll tell you. That how to apply that one. What is the fees? That details I'll tell you.
What is vacuum? That one I did not understand.
Maintenance activities.
That is maintenance. Why vacuum?
No. Actually, Oracle, you are doing reorg, reindex, these kind of things you will do, right?
Reorg you are calling as a vacuum, right?
Yes. Reorg, we will call that as a like that. This one. Reorg, vacuum have relation. Not exactly. Bit difference is there. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Certificates also there. We can create our own certificates. Okay. So
what is that certificate name? Vendor name?
Which one?
Vendor name?
No. I'm not talking about that certificates. SSL certificates will be there, right? OS level security.
Yeah.
OS operating system level security. So for that security perspective, see, Linux operating system, some people will give. If you buy the Red Hat, they can have a Kerberos concept. Kerberos security is there. So here we do like I'm not a Linux DBA. I cannot go with the Kerberos. So SSL PostgreSQL given SSL certificates for providing the more secure. Okay. So even though someone hacking the data also, it will be in encrypted format. They cannot decrypt that one. Anyway, if they want to hack it, that's later.
So Postgres supports Docker like that.
Yes. Docker already there, right?
Okay, we can provision using Docker, right?
Yes. I provisioned already. We can play. Okay. We can provision in Docker. Simply you can.
So how much time it will take if I want to provision 1 TB database? How much it will take?
That one data loading, I'm not sure. But for the initial image setup, that is at least within 1 minute. Within
1 or 2 minutes, right?
The image, PostgreSQL image. Data, I'm not sure. Normally, see, simply you cannot provision image with 1 TB data. Normally, to restore 1 TB data, if your network is very faster, so it will take 5 to 6 hours. 5 to 6 hours. If your network is very faster, 1 TB data.
Okay.
Initial restore.
So what is Docker? Sorry.
No,
Ram, this is Raghav. So what is Docker?
No, see here. Actually, Docker and Kubernetes, these are the latest one, right? See, already they will build the image. Simply, you can download that image. You can use that image directly. You no need to install the software again in your system. Okay. Simply, they will prepare the image ready-made actually. You can simply bring it and you can use it. No need to install. If you need any operating system, you can download that operating system image. You can do whatever the work you want, like that. So it's a just like a box, ready-made box actually, just like our VMware player. So you are downloading one image. See, right now if I want to install a PostgreSQL software, I have to download the software. I have to download VMware. I have to download Red Hat Linux. Okay. So simply, if you have the Linux machine, simply you can install the Docker. You can pull the image from already they have given ready-made images. That ready-made images, all the databases we have almost. MySQL is there, MariaDB is there, PostgreSQL is there. Simply, if you click one option, if you run one command, pull image, something is there. So simply that one will be command, installation done, its services will up and running. So like that you can install actually. See, Docker images will be there. Okay, that concept is different. Okay, so simply see here, Docker pull that one, which database you want, you can tell the database name, so automatically it will come it. Okay, if you need all the images, you can go to Docker Hub. Ready-made only. Yeah, that is completely different concept.
Okay. So what if you want to do some customization to what I want?
Where?
Say for example, the Postgres Docker image. If I want to do some customization to that.
Customization means, see, you have to edit the image. First thing is, you have to create a duplicate image. By default, one image will come, right? For that image, you will get a configuration file. For that configuration file, you have to duplicate the configuration. Then you can create your own image as well. That flexibility is there.
One more thing. You said, right, master having read-write replication.
Read write.
Yeah,
Read,
slave
write.
having only read only.
Yes, yes.
So how many slaves we can provision?
Your wish.
So if I want to convert as a master, slave to master, so VIPs, I need to define all the slaves.
No.
If I have 100 nodes,
no. See,
I need to define all the nodes. Otherwise,
no. That is not possible. See here. Normally, quorum will be there. That is a quorum. Quorum like what is the next priority one? If master went down, what is the next priority node? Priority you have to mention. Based on that only, VIP will assign to that IP. See, A, B, C, 3 nodes are there. A is the master, B and C are the slaves. Let's suppose VIP is assigned to A. Suppose first before itself defaultly priority will set to either B or C. So you have an option. You can set the priority, your wish. So is equal. Always synchronous replication will be.
So where I need to define that VIPs in host file? Otherwise,
no. Cluster setup. EFM software will be there. That one will give you option. I'll show you. Don't worry.
Okay.
So that one, that EFM software will be there, right? It will ask the priority. So
if I have, for example, if I have three node cluster, okay, one server is down. Unfortunately, one server is down. How to know this one is down like that?
Agent is there, right? Agent will monitor, right? So agent will come to know. To see, if you want to know, you can put the notification. You can put your own alert setup.
Okay, alerting.
So whether you are going with the shell script or whether you are going with the Nagios, that is up to you, based on your company budget.
Yeah. Nagios free, right?
Free is there, license is there, both are there, Nagios. So enterprise one, they are giving additional plugins.
Yeah.
So those are the things. Yeah.
Ram, about the thing that you were talking about, the Kerberos.
Which one?
Earlier you were saying during
Kerberos actually Linux team will take care. We don't have any this one actually. We don't need to involve anything in Kerberos. Kerberos mechanism, LDAP thing, these kind of things, Linux team responsibility. We cannot do. We don't have any root privileges, right? If you have the set, I am also not sure how to build the Kerberos. Kerberos means actually double authentication. That one, that means unauthorized IP addresses, unauthorized servers cannot access the server. So it will just like a firewall kind of thing. It will stop that one, stop the connections. It is open source database, right? So everyone is simply connecting means that is a headache. So if all the people are able to hack the database means gone case. So no one will come to PostgreSQL database. So to prevent this kind of thing, number of securities are there in Linux operating system level. So most of the companies, Linux team will build their side safety. Our side as a DBA, we can build our side safety. So both the layers we will cover. So OS level they will take care. Linux, this one DB level we will take care. So there are very, very minute chances to hack the database. Okay, right? Anything?
Yeah.
So if nothing, we'll do one thing.